Hello, third graders. Welcome to lesson 5.7. Today we're talking about patterns. Look at these patterns. What do you know about patterns? Yeah, patterns kind of repeat, right? You can see how some of these patterns, right, are have repeated um shapes, right? So we've got, this one goes this way and this one curves that way and then back to the original way and then back to the second way, right? And so patterns have a repetition that helps us to just kind of see them and know what to expect. We are looking at patterns today in multiplication facts, okay? And that's our goal here, to be able to identify and explain patterns in multiplication. And our standard that we're working with all this week is to multiply and divide within 100. We're, of course, working on the multiplying. Well, before we get into multiplication, let's look at this number grid. And your job here is to figure out some of the numbers that are hidden. So I'm going to make this bigger here for you. And let's start. Let's start with this one right here. See this guy right here? Oop, I almost showed it to you. What's under that one there? 58, right? How did you know? How did you know it was 58? You looked for the number in between 57 and 59, right? Or you took 57 and added one more. You took 59 and went one less. You used the pattern. You know this is 58, so this guy has to be what? Has to be 68, right? Because it's 10 more. 68, 78, 88. What's this one? 79, right? Whoops. Oh, where'd we go here? We went all the way back to the beginning. Let's see if we can come back to here. All right, it was 79, which doesn't want to move there for some reason. 80, right? So you know this number grid really, really well. You didn't know that before you started looking at it, but you do now. When we get to a multiplication fact number grid, right, you're going to be able to learn this the same way that you did before. So I would like for you to open in your math journal to this page in lesson 5.7. Let's see if I have a number for it. All right, I think it might be 173. See if it's page 173. If it's not, I'm sure it's right around there. Open to that. All right, so we are going to be writing on this. Now, it would be great if you have something that could write in blue and green, right? That would be awesome. If you don't, you can use your pencil, but being able to write on this chart would be great, okay? And so if we circle all of the multiples of 5 in blue, okay, the multiples are the products of any number. So if we count by 5s, those are multiples of 5. So let's do that. We're going to use blue here, and we're going to circle all of the multiples of 5. And it'll be a little hard for me because I'm on such a small screen here, but I'm doing all right. If you have blue again, that would be great. And so these are all multiples of 5. Now, that'll be a really important word in 4th grade, right? Knowing that these are multiples. The number 20 is a multiple of 5 because 5 times 4 is 20, okay? So let's also, right, we also want to circle, if we have multiples of 5, we can also circle multiples, numbers that are end in a 0 here, right? Because 5 times 1 is 5, but 5 times 2 is 10. I don't know why we have this crossed out. Let's get rid of that. Whoop. So we can also circle these numbers. These are also multiples of 5. So let's look at this question here. Why are the multiples of 10, right? These are multiples of 10. Why are they also multiples of 5? They are. Why? Well, think about what happens when you count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. You're bouncing back and forth here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. When you are counting by fives, you also say all the same numbers as when you count by tens. Okay, you do, right? That's an example of a pattern. Other things that I see here in terms of patterns. Let's actually stay on this screen for a moment, right? Look at all of these. See these fives here, right? They all have fives they have all zeros here. So we can look for different patterns in these numbers. All right, let's list multiples of 9. All right, we're going to make a list here first. So we'd start with 9 and then 18, right? We're counting by nines. 18 plus 9 more is 27. What would be next? 36. Yep. 9 times 4 is 36. Then 45. 54. Right? That's 9 times 6. What would be next? Did you say 63? I hope so. 63. 72. 81. 90. Now they do keep going, right? Just because we got to 90 doesn't mean that they're over, right? 99. Oh, can you do the next one? What's 9 more? 108. All right. And then let's see. I think we need one more. We'll do 117. Can I squeeze it in here? Ooh. All right. That's supposed to be a 7. There we go. And so now we're going to circle those in green. Again, if you have green, something to circle with in green, that would really help here. Okay. If you don't, you can use your pencil, but try to find a green. So 9 is right here. 18, 27, 36. Well, this is interesting. Look what's happening. 81. No, where's 90? There it is. 90. All right. Let's look at that, right? Look at what's happening here. What do you notice? Yeah, right. We notice that they are kind of in a diagonal line. Well, let's talk about that, right? If we have the multiples of 10, right? The multiples of 5 here and here. The multiples of 9 move diagonally. So let's try to think about why. Why would the multiples of 9 do this? What do you think? I don't think about, if you're adding 10, it just goes straight down, right? If you're adding 9, you're almost adding 10, right? So you're almost getting, make it bigger here. You're almost getting from here to here, but you have one less. And same thing here, right? If you were add 10, you would get to 28, but you have one less to get to 27. So that's kind of really interesting in terms of the movement of these multiples. Now, what you're going to be doing today is thinking about what we just circled. This will be on page 174, and you're going to describe a pattern you see. Right? What's the pattern? So you can look at the numbers and their placement. You can kind of think about some of the things that we've talked about here. How is this pattern different from the tens pattern? Right, so look at your tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. And how is your pattern that you pick on number 1? How's that different? You can see you have 5 lines here to write. You'll want to use, don't just write on one of the lines. That's not going to work. You want to make sure that you explain your answer. And lastly, explain why the nines pattern is a diagonal. Well, we definitely talked about that, right? So you can look back in the video and think about that, and then be able to write your explanation here. Okay, so today we're looking at patterns. We see them in our number grid. We're going to see them in our multiplication fact chart also, which we're not looking at today, but we definitely will see that as we move forward here. All right, third graders, if you need any help with patterns, especially of those 9s, or the 5s or the 10s, can reach out and let me know. And good luck.